He's got an excellent resume, a winning attitude, and I say let's give him a shot. What do you say?
Hang on a sec. I think I might want to have a little time just to think it over.
Do you want the job or not, Snack Shack?
Sometimes, like someone pours in too much and...
Or an excessively long title because the cat does not finish.
Am I legally required to say this?
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio, the show that puts the clean in the word Kleenex.
Keeping your nose squeaky clean since 1985.
We got a pretty good cast of characters up here today. I'd like to start out with Mr. Josiah. What's going on with you?
What's going on with me? Mainly some nice book reading, just kind of lounging around, you know, the winter stuff. Sitting in front of the fire, drinking hot cocoa, that kind of stuff.
Did you ever go to school?
Oh, yeah. My homework keeps catching on fire.
Ooh. Elijah, how's it going?
Pretty good.
I see out in the shop there's sawdust everywhere and stuff in the vise and saws and hammers. What's going on out there?
Well, actually, Josiah and I have been making a whole bunch of cat-sized soapbox cars.
I fear for our cat once the weather warms up. Let's go up to Joshua. Joshua's finishing up his brain drink. What's going on in your world?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
No.
Nuts. My brain projection device isn't working.
Back to the drawing board for you. Courtney, hi. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I've got a lot of solid observations from watching my rock garden.
Plus, you just got back from the Grand Canyon, right?
I did get back from the Grand Canyon.
Really solid observations out there.
There were lots of rocks out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I like all the patches you brought back and put everywhere. But can you remove some of those patches from the cat?
I honestly kind of think it looks better on the cat.
I mean, the cat already has a fur coat. It might as well have some patches on it.
How did you even sew that on?
I think she ironed them onto the cat.
Oh, no.
One of the letters we got this week was from Leonard Nimoy IV. And he says, let me see here. Dear Comedy Parenting Radio, how do you guys come up with all of those topic ideas week after week after week? So, folks, we're going to tell you how we come up with these ideas right after the break. Stay tuned. Put on your thinking caps.
Way back up in the country, back in the hills, down in the hollers where the folks are real, living with the crazies and the old wildcats, sawed-off shotguns and coonskin.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's 50, refreshing 2 degrees, man.
I love bird songs. Squirrel.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Bird songs, practice. Okay, turtle.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the cool forest, visit discovertheforest.cool, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Forest Council.
Captain, we've hit a reef and we're sinking.
Not now. I'm listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
Okay, you're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. Thanks for having your thinking caps, guys. By the way, I really like the propellers on them. That was nice. Courtney, do you have a favorite way that we choose show topics?
Well, I have a couple favorite ways. One of them, probably one of my absolute favorite, is they make alphabet soup kind of for cats. And so we feed the cat the alphabet soup, and the last words that are in the bottom of her bowl we unscramble, and that becomes the title of our show.
And that's why most of our shows are titled Meow Mix.
Meow Mix.
Also, yeah, about the cat food. Sometimes, like, someone pours in too much, and that's why we have spelling errors and such in our titles.
Or an excessively long title because the cat does not finish.
We had a big argument the other day about whether it was a W or an M.
That's a good point.
I personally still think it's a W.
I'm voting for M.
It was clearly a W.
An M.
You could see the lines that definitely indicated the bottom of it made it an M.
Josh is right. Otherwise, like, the show would have been called Modern Wan instead of Modern Man.
So, my favorite thing to do is to do like a more science-y show thing. So we take different oils, we color the oils, we take a giant fish tank, and we drip the oils in. Oil like floats to the bottom. And the first oil to touch the bottom,
This is sounding pretty scientific other than the oil part.
like if red reaches the bottom, we do that show.
One of the interesting ways that we come up with ideas that we will write down about 1,000 words, cut them up on little pieces of paper, put them in a cannon, and shoot them. And whichever word goes the farthest away from the cannon, that's the topic of the show.
Really? That's the one we didn't use.
No, and that's why all the words that I write down have paper clips attached to the little pieces of paper.
Maybe this is why I never know which show we're doing.
You never walk all the way out there to see which one I'm picking up.
It's a long distance, okay?
Plus, you're breaking up all those pieces of paper outdoors.
But, I mean, the powder can sometimes burn the word. So I think that's might be why...
We lose about half our ideas from that.
We lose about half the idea because the rest of it got burnt up by gunpowder.
That's why I always pack your ideas in first. Mine go last. With paper clips.
With paper clips. He's rigging the system.
One of our failed ideas of how to come up with the topic of the show was to put different suggestions, bake them inside of a piece of bread, and we were going to have several loaves of ideas, and whichever one was chosen was going to be our idea.
The problem was Joshua kept putting files in each loaf of bread.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
If you guys had not been using the same oven as my prison escape business, then this would not have been a mix-up at all.
Aside from that, it didn't work because we just ended up with a lot of half-baked ideas.
I have a method that I like to use to come up with shows.
I like that one a lot.
It's a slot machine. Mm-hmm. What it is it's like a regular slot machine, but if you get all cherries, then a little guy comes out and whacks you in the head with a hammer. You get an idea.
I think the machine might be rigged.
Dad's doing, I'm sure.
The one good thing about all of the haters that we have for Comedy Parenting Radio is that if we take all of their comments on from what they tell us about our podcasts and we mix them all up, we can get a really good show title.
Most of our shows have just been a conglomerate of words that people sent us with hate mail.
Yes.
So, yeah, you're right.
And, they also send us those letters that are, like, cut out of newspapers and such, so we use those as well.
Yeah.
We cut up their letters that were cut up from newspapers and paste them together into shows.
Those are actually the supplies for the cannons.
The script is really kind of hard to read sometimes.
Perhaps if it wasn't changing fonts every letter.
We also have a fairly good method for deciding who will be how funny on each show.
Mm-hmm.
With this many people, it's not an easy thing to do. You can't have everybody be funny.
Yeah, we always have to have a downer.
So what we do is we have a dartboard. Mm-hmm. The big wide rings at the outside of the dartboard are worth 1 point, and it goes all the way up through 10 points is a bullseye. So everybody, each week, before we do the show, everybody gets one dart throw at the board, and where it lands on level 1 through 10, that's how funny you're going to be during the show.
Yep. However, some people, based on throwing skill, tend to land in about the same spot.
It's true.
For instance, Dad keeps on missing the board entirely.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
Speak up, because you can. Your mind is a powerful tool, and so is your freedom of speech. So use it. It's what separates you from being a number to being an individual. Thoughts, beliefs, opinions, creativity. It's what makes you, you. Stand proud and say it loud. Know your rights. Know your freedom to speak. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Crazy Russian Dad. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. The job of a parent is to make the children miserable.
You know, most often I come up with a show during the nighttime.
I can hear you talking in your sleep.
Yeah, I'm just hanging there from my sleeping roost. I got all this blood rushing to my brain, and I just think of ideas.
But he never writes them down, so he tries to remember them at breakfast in the morning.
And then Dad's trying to get me to move around in the morning and do stuff in the morning. And I'm like, I will forget this if you make me do that.
So he actually combines his nighttime idea with what he's doing in the morning. For example, the idea might be encyclopedia salesman with burnt eggs.
But instead, because of all the stuff I do in the morning, it is encyclopedia salesman takes out the trash.
The burnt eggs went into the trash?
That sounds like the start of some cheesy, action movie.
Yeah. Encyclopedia salesman takes out the trash.
Speaking of ways to get a title from people sleeping, Elijah's really, really good. You just sit there and he just talks all night in his sleep. It's mostly gibberish, but 1 or 2 words per hour make sense, and you paste them together and make a pretty funny show.
I thought it was gibberish. Gibberish is like a type of monkey.
He's both?
An incoherent gibbon.
No, that's waxing gibbous.
Oh, it's the moon. It's the monkey moon. It's the incoherent monkey moon.
Wait, moons, monkeys, nighttime, sleeping? It all comes together.
See, folks, the comedic genius here is just beyond belief. You know, you can hear the drums beating far away on the other side of the valley.
Actually, they're inside your head. You should probably get that checked.
I was going to say the drums are telegraphing messages to this side of the valley.
Are you off your schizophrenia medication again?
We come up with show topics, but they certainly aren't my topics.
What are they?
They're my bottom picks.
Courtney, why don't you open up that encyclopedia of ideas right there in front of you and read one off?
That's actually what I was going to say. Sometimes we can't really figure out how to make a show title or what the show title will be, so we open up a book and flip and flip and flip and flip, and then when Dad says, stop, you put your finger down, and that's the show title.
The problem with Courtney's method is that normally it's an auto repair manual. It's the only one I can find.
And so, to tear apart the carburetor...
See figure 17A.
That's not a very good picture of it.
This is not even the correct year.
We haven't owned this year vehicle since I was a baby.
That's why our show's outdated.
Did the writer give you that in the script, or did you just ad-lib that?
Am I legally required to say this? Answer this question?
Yeah.
Can I keep my job?
Yes.
I can't help
So
it.
you ad-libbed it.
Yeah.
You ad-libbed it.
Not only do we have a special dartboard to determine who is going to be funny this show, we also have a special method of determining the accents we use.
Spin the globe.
So we got this globe here in the studio that's about 6 feet in diameter, and we spin it, and you have to close your eyes, and then you move your hand up and down, and then you just stop it whenever you want, and wherever your finger points, that is the accent you're going to use.
And, man, I landed on the Atlantic Ocean again. Well, blub, 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 blub.
Once again, folks, it took the entire show for the cast to warm up. Are you guys feeling kind of warm in here?
No, it's freezing. I'm actually...
We're all wearing coats in an unheated studio because Dad can't afford to pay the heating bill.
You're wearing a fluffy blue sleeping bag.
I know. Let me hold it up to the radio.
Jerry
The color.
Bigley ASMR.
What's AMSR? American Media Shortwave.
ASMR?
What?
ASMR?
Automatic systematic.
Sensory, it's something, audio sensory
movie recording or something?
Something. It's where people talk and it's like, oh no, whisper, and they make small noises.
And then they
and they
crinkle,
crinkle
stuff into the
things.
microphone.
Yep. And apparently people find it very relaxing.
Really?
Yeah. Why are we whispering?
We're relaxing people.
Although you do kind of need to be recording in stereo for it to work properly. Because then they go like side to side from mic to mic.
Put your headphones on one ear and put it on the other ear.
I hope this doesn't make it in the show. Stupid. Let's go with something real.
You've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. How we come up with show topics.
This show is going.
Stop talking. You have to whisper. Hey, shh. Shh. Stop talking. Thank you for coming into the studio today, gang.
You're welcome.
Before you guys go,
Yeah.
could you reload the cannon?
I'm not ending the show like this.
Bye-bye.
What we have also is a collection of little ABC blocks. We take them, we put ink on them, and then we roll them out on a piece of paper, and those are our writer's blocks.
I'm not going to end the show like this. No. I refuse to end the show like this. I'm not ending the show like this.
I'm not ending the show like this.